hey, I'm here to climb Everest, I've just paid all this money, I've been training my ass off, I want to get to the summit. Now there's some guy dying in the way, creating all this traffic and all these lines. Come on man, if you can't hack it, you don't belong here. With all the media attention on Everest this past season, with people that were claiming to get to the summit but they really didn't, and that incredible photo with hundreds of people literally dying of anticipation waiting to get to the summit, and all the media kickback from that, it's pretty clear that the world wants a solution to this Everest problem. It's been described as a circus and a zoo. So my friends, in this video, I'm proposing a solution. A solution that will solve once and for all this problem of lines and crowding and traffic on Everest. And not only that, by the end of this video, you'll have a unique insight into the mindset of a mountaineer, which might actually leave you genuinely considering, could I be that person? Could I be all the way up there? Could that be me? So many of you might be new here and you're probably wondering, who is this sideshow Bob lunatic talking about Everest and why does it matter? Well, in my day job, I'm a fitness and mindset coach for mountaineers, and I've helped everyone from alpine climbers through to quasi-celebrity mountaineers prepare their minds and bodies for the mountains. And over the last 7 years working with a bunch of climbers, I can say that mountaineers aren't normal people. And if you're watching this and you're not a climber, you're probably wondering from the start, why do people even climb? What are they doing up there just waiting in a line ready to die? And how do they continue to climb while others are dying right there? Well, you're right to ask those questions. You are human. And whenever people die, as humans, we feel that. And we naturally want to place blame on someone or something because as humans, we always need a scapegoat. And in light of these recent events on Everest, we certainly did do that. Many of the armchair mountaineering elite looked to place blame on the Nepalese government. They were suggesting that there was too many permits issued and the numbers should be reduced to make it safer. But Nepal's Ministry of Tourism didn't agree with that. They said there was not a problem with the numbers, and instead they blamed the weather, because I don't know, it's easy to do that, I guess. Like, Mother Nature, she's a cruel mistress, what are you gonna do? Like, it's a traditional scapegoat. But no matter who you place the blame on, whether it's the authorities or the expedition leaders or even the mountaineers themselves, it's pretty clear from all this backlash and media attention that the world wants something to change. So what are we gonna do to ensure that the highest point on this planet remains a wild place where still people can access it and they can prepare and go and challenge themselves and grow from that experience and not have to wait in a queue and die needlessly in the process? Well, here it is, my friends. This is the solution. But to explain it properly, I'm gonna need some input from you. So first I want you to picture this. Let's say you're a mountaineer. Whether you are or not, it doesn't matter. But I want you to picture those last final steps approaching the summit of Mount Everest. And I really want you to visualize this, because once you've done that, I want to ask you a question. And that question really requires a very, very honest answer. So let's visualize you on the summit. You can see those final 10 footsteps in front of you, which are going to lead you to the summit. And in every other direction, as you look around, you can see nothing but mountains, sky, and horizon, as far as you can see. And in those last few steps, you start to feel this incredible rush of euphoria, the sense of knowing that you, under your own sheer will, have pushed yourself beyond everything that you or anyone you've ever known has ever thought possible for you. Up against all the barriers and the obstacles and the haters, people that told you you'd never succeed at doing this, after that huge journey, you're finally there, you've done it, you've made it. But now you've got to answer this question. And it's the same question that I've asked my other clients who have trained for Everest and those other kind of big famous mountains that I'm going to ask you now. What if you could never tell a soul about what you've just achieved? What if everything you've been through and everything you've struggled with and everything you've achieved, you have to keep a secret for the rest of your life, and you can never tell anyone that you've just summited Mount Everest? So literally answer me the question in the comments section, yes or no, would you still climb Everest knowing that you could never tell anyone? No campfire retellings, no pictures of you on the summit, no selfies, no Instagram stories, and certainly no profit for yourself or any of your business interests or any public speaking that you wanted to do. None of that is possible. You have to keep this a secret for the rest of your life. Without all that benefit, would you still want to climb the mountain? So this is my solution, and I'm serious about this. If we want to preserve the sanctity of this mountain, this absolute pinnacle of both individual and collective human achievement, and we want to keep it wild and we want to preserve it, but we still want to give access to people who really want to go and climb it for the right reasons, then I think the answer is actually pretty simple. We leave the mountain to those who are willing and capable to separate their ego from the climb completely by keeping it a secret. Because let's be honest, if we're going to place blame on someone or something, let's not blame Mother Nature. She's just doing her thing. If we're going to look for real meaning as to why people die in the pursuit of excellence, and if we want to place blame on something or someone for the degradation of a place in the world that is very special and very beautiful, then we should look to blame the ego. Because it's the ego that says, hey, I'm here to climb Everest, I've just paid all this money, I've been training my ass off, I want to get to the summit. Now there's some guy dying in the way, creating all this traffic and all these lines. And come on man, if you can't hack it, you don't belong here. That attitude has to be eliminated, because I'd be willing to bet my life that if you commented yes below, if you said you'd climb Everest or any mountain for that matter, even if you couldn't tell anybody about it or profit from it in any way, then you are the kind of person that probably wouldn't step over a dying human just to feed your ego. And so instead of having this summit fever with climbers who are prioritizing their own ego over human life, we have people like you who are there for the right reasons. And I'm sure that that concept would result in more skilled mountaineers on the mountain who respect the sport, or at the very least they know how to put their helmet on the right way.
That's really good.
And out of those 300, I'm sure that the vast majority of them would be happy to carry out a rescue, because it wouldn't matter, because you couldn't talk about it anyway. And yeah, I'll admit there's some obstacles to making this happen. Is it realistic? I mean, how do we ensure that those climbers don't just go home and start telling everyone about it? That's not really the point. The point is that this very concept of being a mountaineer and the pursuit of self-growth by facing the challenges of nature, it's been tarnished by this circus that's happening on Everest every single year. And when I say I'm a mountaineer, I am proud of that, but at the same time I cringe so much that the purpose of this video is to be in defense of the sport of mountaineering. And so if you commented yes below, and if that's a true and genuine and honest answer, then we need more mountaineers like you. And whether you know it or not, you are capable of doing it. If you want to, you can absolutely do it. There's this mystique in mountaineering that it's only for the super fit or the super successful, and it's not. It's literally just walking to the top of a big hill, and if you want to do it, you can absolutely do it. So the whole purpose of this channel, my friends, for those of you who are still watching, is to find more people like you, to enable all of you to start embracing the challenges of the mountains, because I believe it will make you a better person. Because the effort that you put in, regardless of whether it's your first trekking peak or the hardest, most steepest line in the middle of a country that no one's ever heard of, regardless if you're starting or whether you're an expert, I guarantee you that the effort that you put in getting to the summit, you will receive back 1,000 times over, both in terms of enjoyment, connection to nature, and perhaps most importantly, the knowledge that you have grown and developed into yourself as a human being. And that's life. So if you're into that, subscribe for more videos like this, but also more informative about actually how to be a mountaineer and how to get out and enjoy nature. I'm going to head to the comments section now to read your comments to find out what you've said, and also probably answer the most obvious question which people are going to ask, which is, so after all this talk, have you actually climbed Everest? Well,
Want to see Everest? Here she is.